Yeah. So hello everyone. Good morning and good evening. So last class we were actually discussing about the one second. Yeah. So last class we were actually discussing about the React JS. What? I forgot. Yeah. Yesterday we discussed components interaction, right? So how the components are getting interact with each other, and we also discuss the concept called context API. So using the context API, we can maintain the state at the top level, and we can provide that data to the any of the nested components. Okay, so without having to pass the intermediate components using the context API. So we have discussed with the class-based components. Okay, today we have a plan of discussing the new concept, and that's very important concept. So let me do one thing. Yeah. So today we are going to discuss React.js with HTTP. Okay. So what is HTTP? Let's see. React.js with HTTP. It means, see, till now the data which is there in the each component, it is our own data, like our own local and static data. Okay, but now I want to get some data from the server. Okay, generally a React.js application is for client side, but it will fetch data from the server and that internally connect with database. So usually we will receive the data from the server. Okay, so how a React.js application can get or can receive data from the server and can also send data to the server. Okay, so how this is possible? Before I talk about how HTTP calls will happen between the React.js and the backend server, it can be Java, it can be Node.js, it can be any server. So before we start with that concept, before that we understand what is React.js. What is React.js? So React.js is actually called as a library. Okay, it is not a framework. I talk about this, not a framework. So Angular is a framework, okay, but React.js is not a framework. It is just a library because React.js has come to the market just to focus on building the rich user interfaces. It doesn't care about routing. It doesn't care about how to connect with the backend server. Okay, it means in order to develop any application, okay, it means in order to develop any application, so that application should contain the UI uh, design, that's nothing but the components with some dynamic features with, okay, let's write and. So if you want to develop any application which needs the rich UI design and which needs some dynamic data and which also need the HTTP to connect the server. So because we need to fetch data from server and we also need some sort of routing. Okay, so if you have all these things, then it's called as a framework. Okay, so frameworks is what is meant by framework is a framework which can provide the complete application development solution. Okay, so a framework which can provide a complete application development solution, including HTTP and routing. So we call Angular as a framework because Angular itself is given their own library for HTTP and their own library for routing, and this thing is common for React and Angular also. Okay, but why React this is called as library is React.js has come up to here and HTTP and routing is not provided by HTTP default. Okay, so I mean this HTTP and routing is not provided by the React.js by default. Okay, because React.js want to focus on UI design and developing the rich dynamic components. So that has done pretty well. And the React.js ecosystem has made such a way that you can choose, they have given a choice for the developer itself. Okay, so they have not given any library for themselves by default. So they have given an option. You can choose the best HTTP client available in today's world, and you can also choose the best routing module available in today's world. So you can choose the best option uh, in the today's market because that's why they have not given it. So they have given option to choose it. But for Angular, they have given their own library and you must have to use their own library only. Okay. So now in this case, that's the reason why React is called library. It's not a framework because HTTP and routing is not provided by the React.js. Okay. Sir, if React.js does not provide the HTTP library, then how can we call the HTTP, to get the server side data? Don't worry, we have a lot of options. We can choose either fetch API. So this is the default every browser's API. So this using this we will fetch it, but the fetch API is a little bit outdated because mostly no one use this. The most popular library to fetch data from the server using even Ajax calls is Axios. Axios. So Axios library is made to perform some sort of HTTP operations like you want to fetch data, you want to create a new user at server, or you want to update some data at server side, or you want to delete some data at server side. So any kind of HTTP operations. For example, HTTP protocol. This is the regular protocol which allows to make some communication between the client and server. Okay, so HTTP will have some methods like get method, post method, and trace, and then delete, and then put, and then patch, and then download, like that. So many methods are there. So get means you want to receive some data from server. Post means you want to post some data. You want to create a new user. We go with this. Trace. This is used for testing purpose. And delete. You want to delete some resource at server side. You want to update something at server side. And patch. You want to delete. Sorry. You want to update a partial data at server side. For updation, we use patch. Okay. So for all these type of operations, we use Axios library. So this is one Node.js third-party module, and so as this is not provided by the React.js, so we have to install this separately. Okay, so before we starts with the HTTP module, we need to install the Axios library separately. So how to install the Axios library in our system is simple command npm install Axios. Okay, and even shortcut is npm I Axios. Okay, either you do this command or this command in your project root folder, and you can start using this Axios library to fetch some data from the server. Okay, before I fetch data from server, you need to know a small concept. What is the concept is, you need to know the React lifecycle methods. Okay, you need to know something about the React lifecycle methods before we push to the before we move on to the HTTP library, because where we will write, okay, where exactly we will write this code in the component. Do we write in constructor or do we write in somewhere else? Yes, I tell you where we write this source code is. For every React component, there are some few lifecycle methods are there, and the very important lifecycle methods are two methods are common for every lifecycle, every React component. That is, one is component did mount, component did mount, and one more is component will unmount. Okay, so these two very important methods to start with HTTP library. Okay, so component did mount, component will unmount, and before that we have another method, or we have a constructor. We have a constructor too. Okay, so this constructor we have, and render we have. Okay, so constructor method we have, render method we have. Along with that we have other two, but these two not comes under any life cycle. These two comes under life cycle. Okay, so when these will execute, what is the what is the rule behind this React component? We'll see now how React.js application works when displaying the component. So React.js and even Angular is for single page application. So single page application means you never ever see a page refresh. Whichever the component you go, and from whatever the link you click, you never see a page refresh. So without page refresh, how the different component is getting loaded, okay, and how it is getting destroyed is, I tell you based on these functions only. For example, Let me create. So how the components will be loaded in React.js is like this. Suppose you have one app. So this is your React app, assume. Okay. So for example, this is your navbar. So in the navbar, I have two links. Okay. Home is one link in the navbar, but we are not start with routing as of now. But I'm just telling how application works. Home link, about link. Okay. So home page is there, about page is there. So when I click on the home page will load. When I click on about page will load. But whatever the link you click, you never see a page refresh. Okay, sir, without page refresh, how it is getting loaded here is very simple. When I click on home, so home will have one component, about will have one component. First, let's take this is the home component. For example, this is the home component, and this is about component. So home component logic will write here, and about component logic here. But when I click on the home, only home component will display in the screen, and you didn't see any about component. When I click on about, you can see only about component. You can't see any home component. This will only occupy the whole page. Okay. So how that can be loaded is very simple. When I click on the home, what happens is um, it will load the home component. Okay. When I click on about, what happens is it will remove the existing components. It will remove the existing component from the DOM, and then it adds new component called about. For example, you have some 10 lines of code here and some 20 lines of code here. Okay. So this component. So the moment when you click on the home link, what happens is it will remove existing component, it will destroy the existing components, and it will load a new component line. It means it will remove the existing 20 lines from the body tag. It will add fresh 10 tags, I mean 10 lines of code of home page in the body tag. This whole thing is body, your HTML body, right? So that will add to the body and that will display. Next, when I click on about, what happened? This will getting removed from the DOM, and this 20 lines can be added to the DOM dynamically. So that's place where you can see dynamically the component will see on the screen. Okay, and you never see a page refresh because it is removing the DOM and adding to the DOM dynamically through background process. Okay, that's why you never see any page refresh. Fine. So in this process, you have two things you can observe. One, the component has been loaded, and one, the component is destroyed. Okay, so when you click on home, component home will be loaded. Okay, and when you click on about, then the home component will be destroyed. Okay, so then what? When you click on about will be loaded, and this is destroyed. And once you click on home, this will destroy. Okay, it will destroy the other component and load this component. So every component will have two life cycle methods. Life cycle means from birth to death. You can think like that. Every component will can have, it can load, it can create, and it can remove from the DOM. So whenever the component has been completely fully loaded on the screen, when component is fully loaded on the screen, I mean, once the component has been displayed fully on the screen, then this particular function will execute. Component did mount, which is mounted on the screen, fully loaded. Just like in jQuery, we have document.onload, right? Okay, so document.load, same like that. This one. So this means your component has fully loaded. Okay, and what is this component will unmount is once your component has been removed from the DOM. So when it is removed from the DOM, when it is want to display some other component, then it will remove the this current element from the DOM, current component from the DOM. That's called this one. So we use this function to fetch the data from server. Okay, we can't write this logic in constructor, we can't write that in render. Okay, so render, what is the constructor then? Constructor is a special function that will execute whenever the component is getting created. Generally, React.js will create an object of the constructor. So see, we only write the classes, right? So every component we have a class. So when that class object is getting created, will be taken care by the React.js. Okay. So this constructor is a special function which get executed whenever object is created. So it is not a safe place to write the fetching data from server in the constructor, because by the time component is not get completely ready. Okay, so you can't write there. And can we write in render? You can't write in render, because render is just to display some data which doesn't have any external libraries calls. Okay, so we have only one place to write any side effects. We call them as side effects. Side effects means fetching data from server or external library is called side effects. So those side effects will write only in the component did mount. Okay, and if you want to clear any resources once a component has been destroyed, that logic you will write in this function. Okay, so these two functions are very very important. Okay, so let's take an example of lifecycle methods so you clearly understand, and then we'll talk about the HTTP library. Okay, so first of all, let me create a component and then I explain how it works. See here, let me I have taken the default existing projects and I remove the components and everything, and I kept the bootstrap as it is, and I have started that and it is working here. Fine. So now let's start with component lifecycle example. Only just what one example you understand. So I will create in SRC, right click new directory. I create something called components. Okay, folder. In this, I create a file, one component that's called some digital watch. Okay, some digital watch. Okay, I just want to display the current time. Okay, so I just create watch. So import React from React, and the say class digital watch extends React dot component, and then con tab, and then what run tab. People having some question. 1 second, people are having some. Hello. Okay. Okay. So render. I write h1 h2. Just say digital watch. Now export default digital watch. Okay, done. So now let me add this to app.js. So below the navbar, let's add digital watch. Okay, done. So once you add to the app, it was, I mean, it is class-based component now. So last class we have converted this to class-based. That's okay, fine. Digital watch. So now check, you got digital watch. Okay. So what is my plan in this example is, in digital watch, I will write this as react dot fragment. Okay, let me write a nice card here. One container, one row, single column D 6, one card header, and one card body. So card header with a class called bg primary, and text white, and I can keep text center everything. And so inside I write so p.h4. Let's write something called digital watch. Okay, let me write some margin top 3. Okay, so you check, you get a card digital watch. Okay, so inside I want to display the current time. Okay, so current time you want to display, so that data must come from the state. So let me go to here, let me write a state. So this dot state is equal to an object inside current time is equal to new date, new date. Sorry, it's not is equal to, it's an object, no. New date object, new date dot to locale date string. Okay, so current time value is new date dot to locale date, not date, to locale time string time. Okay, so I have some value assigned to this and I want to display that value on the screen. So where I want is in the card body. So let's say something called h3 with the class called display3, and let me write expression this dot state dot current time. Okay, so let's see what is the current time has display. Yeah, this is the current time. Okay, so yes, of course we have display the current time, but this current timer is not getting updated. Okay, when I click on refresh, it will update. When I click on refresh again, it will update. But I don't want to refresh this every time. I want to keep this update automatically. Okay, so generally in JavaScript, how you update this time automatically is we use the function called set interval. Okay, we use the function called set interval. Okay, so we just keep calling that function for every second. Okay, so where we write this logic, whenever my component is fully loaded, then only I can call the set interval. It means where you write this logic is not in the constructor, you can write that logic in the component did mount. So I can set an interval for my time whenever my component is fully loaded. So when you know that it is fully loaded, if you write some logic in the this function. Okay, so I will write something here. I write a function component did mount. Okay, when component is fully loaded, I just set an interval. So let me write set interval. I write one function for every 1000 milliseconds. It means for every 1 second I want to update the state. How to update the state? This dot set state. Okay, inside current time will be new date dot to locale time string. Okay, so what I have done is whenever my component is fully loaded, I can write a function. So when the component is fully loaded, okay, when the component is fully loaded, I can set up a timer. Okay, so this timer will keep updating the time of the stage for every 1000 milliseconds. It means for every second it will update the timer. Okay, and this will execute only once when the component is fully loaded. Okay, save it. Now now let's see, time is getting updated without refresh because we have set up a timer. Okay, now I want to delete this timer, I want to stop this timer, or I want to remove this timer. So when you want to remove this timer is whenever this component has been destroyed and some other component has been loaded, then I want to delete this timer. Okay, so that's the cleanup logic. So where you write the cleanup logic is when component will unmount, when it is removed from the DOM. Okay, so I can write something. So this set interval will give some value. I say this dot timer. Okay, so it will give some ID. So that ID I'll clear in the component will unmount. Okay, in this I say clear interval of this dot timer. Okay, here I'm clearing the timer. Clearing the timer. So any cleanup logic if you want to write, you can write in this function. So this function get executes. Okay, so this will execute execute when execute when the component is removed from the DOM. Is removed from the DOM. Okay, so when you load some other component with the routing, because we don't have any routing as of now, so you must write some cleanup logic in this function. So these two very important uh, life cycle functions of component. So using this only we will write the server side logic. So where you write the logic to fetch data from server is component did mount function. Okay, and any cleanup logic you want to write, so you can write in this function. Okay, so that's about life cycle. Okay, so now let's understand how to fetch data from the external API. So before we fetch data, we need to have HTTP library, but React.js does not provide any HTTP library. So that's why we have to choose the best library in the current market, that is Axios. So how to install that is, because that is not available for us. So how to install is npm install Axios or else npm I Axios. So if we have done this, this will make an entry in package.json. Okay, so package.json is your the application's configuration file. I show you. When you go to the package.json, see here in my package.json, we have installed a separate package called MD Bootstrap, right? When we start the Bootstrap configuration, we have installed MD Bootstrap. So that is their entry here. Dependency. My application depend on MD Bootstrap and also React. These are all React specific. Okay, along with this, I want Axios also because my application want to depend on Axios library because I want to use internally Axios library. So how to install that is very simple. Open a fresh terminal and make sure you are in the root folder. That is my first tab, root folder. So here how you enter is npm install Axios. Okay, and make sure you have internet connection before typing this and press enter. So this will download the Axios library and makes an entry in the package.json. Okay, so let's wait for some time. So using this only, we'll fetch data from server. Come on. Okay, so I hope it is installed. Yeah, you get like this, added 4 packages something, you get a version done. And once it is come out, it is installed. And you get some meanwhile some warning, just ignore the warnings. Okay, fine. And now just just check in the package.json, you can confirm yes, Axios entry is there. If you have an Axios entry in the package.json, you can confirm that yes, Axios is installed to my application successfully. Okay, so whenever you want to use HTTP for your React.js application, you have to install this one extra. Okay, if you want to use Bootstrap, you have to install this extra. Okay, so this three comes automatically by React. Okay, so I have successfully installed Axios, so now I can start using Axios library. Okay, so yeah, let's create some other component and then I tell you how to fetch data. But before fetch data, from where are you fetching data? I show you some, a lot of websites are there to give you some random data. I think I can search for some website, something called JSON. Just for testing purpose, I'm using this because we have not created our own server. Okay, so let's use the existing server data. There is a website called jasonplaceholder.com. Okay, so this is a fake online REST API for developers. So this will give you some random data when you use some URL. Okay, so in this website, see they are serving 350 million requests per month. So so many people are using this website. Okay, so if you come down, this is fetch API. Okay, I told fetch API, no? Fetch API. So using fetch API, you can fetch like this. So fetch then something. We are not using this. This is quite old. So if you come down, yeah, there are some links given. Okay, in the JSON placeholder, typicode.com. Here there are some links. Post, you get some 100 posts, comments, names, users, photos, and users. Yeah, I want some 10 user. This guys, this link. So when I click on this link, yeah, you have data. Okay, so this is the URL. Okay, if you hit this URL, you got the data in nice JSON format. Okay, so what is my plan is, from my React.js application, I will connect to this server. Okay, this location, this address, and I need to fetch data. And how is using Axios. So now what? we have installed successfully Axios, and we also got the server side URL, and only thing is we have to fetch data. So where we fetch data is, let's create a new component to fetch data. Okay, so let me go to app.js. Let me comment this guy. It's not required now, so it's gone. Okay, so let's fetch data. So we are fetching some users information. So let's create that type of name in the components. I create right click new directory. No, it's file component, right? Okay, so customers, not customers, users, no, users. Okay, users. Anything you want to write? Okay, user list. I'll write. Okay, user list. Enter. So I have to create a component. So import React from React and the class user list extends react dot component in that con tab, ren tab, h2 or h1 user list, and then export default to user list. So structure ready. Let's add to the app.js. So below this I will add user list added, so that you got the default message user list. Okay, fine. So now in this, now let's make this like what? Let's write React dot fragment. In this, I will write a nice data like container, one row, spelling wrong, one row and single column. I write just p dot h3, something called users information. Okay, and let's write some p dot lead. Just say write some lorem 30 tab, some dummy data. Okay, I just made some heading and some dummy data. You can write some text primary and some margin top. Okay, so you can see the design now. Yeah, so I have this users information and this one. Okay, so now here I wanted to display these guys data in a table format. Before we display table format, we need to fetch the data. Okay, so to fetch this data, we have to use the Axios library. And where you write the logic of fetching data is not in the constructor, not in the render. You have to write the logic in the component did mount, because whenever my component is successfully loaded on the page, then I have to make a call to the server. Okay, that's called side effect. Okay, calling to server and getting data is called side effects. Another name they call side effects. Okay, so I want to do side effects at component did mount. So let me write the logic in component did mount. So let me write a function component did mount in this write logic. So we have to use Axios library. So how to use Axios libraries? You can import. So import Axios from Axios. Okay, same like React from React. So React module. So Axios from Axios module. Okay, so now here how to fetch data is Axios dot get. So we have different functions are there. Axios dot get means get request. So we have Axios dot post put I want to update something, and Axios dot delete I want to delete something at server side, like that. But as of now I just want to fetch data only, just to get the data. So get. Okay, so this will give you two things. This get is an get function receives one string URL. So from which server you have to get data, what is the server URL to get data. So our server URL is this one. So if you hit this URL, you get data, right? So let me copy that back here. I will paste that URL, because from this URL I want to get data. Okay, and then Axios.get, this function will return one promise. Okay, so every promise will have two things, then and catch. Okay, so I'm talking about the JavaScript promise. Okay, we'll have then and catch. So you can say dot then for successful response, dot catch for error, like this. So okay, this is how you write it. And in then you will be having the function, and dot catch also you have a function. I'm writing arrow function here. This is the structure. Axios dot get URL dot then dot catch. So then indicates successful response, catch indicates the error response. Okay, so then you will get the response. So this contains the actual data from this URL. So this holds this data. Okay, so this data I will fetch, but I need to store the data somewhere. So I store data in my state. So this dot state is equal to something. So users, okay, users with null. As of now, when application loads, I don't have any data, so just null, comma some error message, also null. Okay, fine. And so when application loads, users is empty. So once component is fully loaded, then I get data, that is response. So this response I want to add to the users. So how to add and that two users is a state variable. So how to update the state? This dot set state, inside you need to make an object in that users with data. So how to get data is simple, response dot data. Okay, so this response dot data will contains your data, this data. Okay, so now I attach here, and if you get some error, for example you server down or you made some wrong URL, so they get the error. That error also I want to add to my local, so I can say this dot set state like this. So error message is with the value error. That's it. Okay, so using Axios, you have fetched the data. But let's see the users contains what data. Is that user contain the data or not? So I want to visualize that raw data on the screen. So let me write another row, single column. Let me write a pre-tag expression. So let me write JSON dot stringify of this dot state dot users. Okay, so this uses when application fully loaded, which contains the data. Okay, and what is the data is from this URL. So let me save it and go check my application. See, I got data. Okay, so ID name, some Lenny Graham Brett something. You have, yeah, Lenny Graham Brett, same thing. Okay, so total how many? So 10 records, ID 10. So you can visualize that somewhere here. Name, where is ID dude? I think I can't see. Yeah, if you want to visualize the whole data, you can do one thing, one something like p tag. Create a paragraph tag, the whole data will display. Yeah, this is your data, and you can find something called ID 10. Okay, data. Okay, I didn't want to mess up just like that raw data, so I use pre tag, pre-formatted tag of HTML. Okay, at least this is enough. Okay, oh fine. So we successfully fetch data from this URL. Okay, but I don't want to display the raw data like this. I want to convert this like a proper table format. So let's make a table where here itself. So let's write a table. That's it. How to fetch data is done. We only to display. So we know how to display the data. We know how to display data using the map function. So let's write. So table. We write a class called table and table primary and table hover text center table striped t head and the table row some th star 6 tab. You get some total 6 th. Okay, wait, people are asking some questions. What question? Why we use express.js in server? Huh? Express.js in server, dude, we are talking about React. Once we start express.js, I tell you. Okay, can we use console dot rest dot data to view in proper? Yeah, you can do console dot log also. You can do console dot log, but I want to visualize on the screen, so that's why I use pre tag. Okay, fine. Now what we do? Okay, so data. What type of data? What type of data is there? See, this is your object, right? So ID is there, name is there, email is there, address is there. Okay, So ID, name, username, email, address. Okay, so let's make ID not there. ID and the name, username also there, and then email is there. You want to display all caps, you can write. Okay, email और क्या है? Address. Okay, address enough. Address means not the whole address. I just make only either street or state. Just make like that. Okay, now check. Where is my? Yeah, nice. I want this to be nice blue color. Blue color is a sense T head class called BG primary text to white. So nice blue color. Okay, and in this data required. So how you get data? We write T body. Okay, so T body. How to write is map function. Before I write map, I want to check that is contains data or not. Okay, so I have to write if condition because first time it will be null. Okay, when component is fully loaded, then this will get executed. It means before this component did mount, this component did mount will execute lastly. Okay, it means first the constructor will execute, then render will execute, then lastly fully loaded, then this will execute. It means while writing some logic in the render, you should be very careful because this render will execute before component did mount. So users will contain the data after you display. Okay, while display you get the error. Okay, so that's why you have to check is it not null then display. Okay, so you must have to check the conditions. So let's make a condition here. How to check the condition? This dot state dot users. Okay, if users are there, if you confirm that users are there, okay, it is null. Okay, if it is null, this condition will fail. Okay, if it is not null, if contains some object, then this condition will success. Okay, if the condition is success, I will write some react dot fragment some data, otherwise just display null is just nothing. Okay, you have to write a condition like this. We have learned all the conditions. Okay, so once it is successful, you have to loop the data. How to loop the data? Using map function. How to map? I write this dot state dot users dot map. Okay, map. Okay, map. So in this you will loop through each user, and you need to return some JSX, that is your table row. Okay, so you will receive the each user. Okay, that user I display in a nice table format. So table data, I first of all I want the user dot id. Okay, user dot id, and I hope that's it. Now check, you get all the IDs. Yes, 10 IDs. Okay, successful. Name, username and all. So name means how, dot name dot username dot email. Okay, so like this, dot name dot username dot email. Now check. Okay, so name Graham and email has come. Address has not come. Address means address is an object, so never try to display address as it is. I tell you now. If I write address as it is, address is an object. Okay, if you display object directly, you get the error. Okay, so object cannot be valid as a React child. Okay, don't display address objects. Okay, so you have to display the whole. You have to display only string. See which contain these many properties. Okay, so you have to do watch address dot city. I want to display only city there. So address dot city. Okay, so now go back and check. You got the city. Okay, fine. That's it. So we have fetch the data, and make sure you see here we don't have data anywhere. We have not stored any data from my local. Okay, previously we stored data in the local, right? So now data is coming from the external server using Axios. So before you start with Axios, you have to install using npm install, and you have to write the server side logic fetching data in component did mount. Okay, when component is fully loaded, and once it is fetched, you add to the stage, and that state you will loop it and display, and make sure while displaying you have to check the condition. Okay, and this how you will fetch the data from the server using http axios library. Wait, we'll do some good examples also, but meanwhile I got some question. Can we use for each in place of map? We can't use for each. We can't use for each. React JS, that JSX will give the problem. If it is normal JavaScript or something, we can write for each, but for each will not write here. For each will not return the array. Okay, only map function will return the array. Okay, so they need array, so it must be map. Okay, you can try with for each, you get there. It's map. Okay, and yeah, so now we successfully know that how to fetch data. So let's make a real example based on this one. So what is real example is, yesterday we have discussed, let me, can I do one thing? I can give you this as a notes. Anyway, notes is there in your PDF. Let me give this as a notes just for your understanding purpose. I think in the notes, oh, something is there. Delete. So notes, right click, new file, notes, not ports, notes.txt. Okay, paste. Okay, you can refer this. Yeah. So what my plan now is, we learn successfully how to get data from HTTP using Axios. Okay. And yesterday we have learned one concept that is called component interaction. Okay, components interaction. And also, I don't need this type of dummy data. I want some real data. Okay, it means I need to have some photos and nice data, some complex object, not just like very plain object like this. I want some complex. I know, of course, this is complex only. Yeah, I want complex object like this. Users, I have local data, right? This one. So this contains the huge data. Okay, some 1200 lines. Yeah, this data I want. So now my plan is, I need HTTP Axios. I want component interaction with some real data. Okay, so by mixing all this, I have planned an application. So the application name is something called contact app. Okay, so application name is contact app. So this will display the real data from server, and it also contains the component interaction concept. It also have a real data. So let me see the design of this contact app, and then we will make a complete application. So I will write it. See here. So what is my plan is, I want to create an application. This is your contact app. Okay. So in this contact app, you will be having a navbar. You will be having a navbar. Okay. So this contains the React.js contact app. Okay. That thing, no routing. We'll see the routing afterwards. Here I want two tables. I need some text here, and then I need a nice table here. Only this is the table. Okay, so in this table you will be having all the data, like it's a table format. You'll be having all the data. Okay, so in table you'll have data. Along with this, I need to display one nice card here. Right side you'll be having a nice card. So this is one component, this is one component. So in this card I want to make a nice person photo, and I want to display his details. So nice details in a here. Okay, so the plan is, I want to display all the records, just like here we have a table, no? So like this table, photo and all, I want to display here. Okay, and this card will be empty. Okay, when first time an application loads and this table card will be empty. So in this particular row, whatever the row I select, I want to display the card with selected user. Okay, I hope you understood. So I show you the real image. I think we have done it in the Angular batch we have done recently. So let's make it in the React now. So I show you the real picture. Something for this is contact app. Yep, I have. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is the real image of the application. So contact list, you have data, and when I click on each row, whatever the row I select, that row specific data I want to display here. So here you have contact interaction concept. So what is that is this whole application is one component, that is contact app component. Okay, and this table we have a contact list and this card we have contact card. So we have three components. One is contact app, the whole application, and in that contact list and then contact card. Okay, so let me take this image. Let me save this and then I'll tell you the architecture diagram. This is just a design. So contact app hyphen react. Okay, so this is the design. So architecture diagram is like this. So you will be having app component root level. This is your app component. So in the app component, I will have one nested component, that is contact app. This is your contact app. Okay, contact app. So in this, we have two other nested components. One is contact list and one is contact card. So this is what contact list, and this is your contact card. Okay, so contact list, contact card. Fine. So both are in connection like here. Okay. So now where the concept of contact interaction, component interaction is in the contact list, you have table format, right? If I select the table, some data, I want to display that data in the card. For example, you see, if I select this one, okay. If I select something here, can we do one thing? Can we take this table better? Okay, edit, copy, paste. Yeah, it will be here. Okay, and this one, this guy will be side. Yeah, this card will be here. Let's go chota karke. Okay, I want to display that here. Okay, so this is the contact list, this is the contact card. So when I select something here, I want to display here, but both are not in connection. So what you do, you will lift up the state from here to the this level, and from there you need to pass on here. Okay, and also this data, right? This data also I don't want to store here. First data will be there in the contact app. This whole this list is there. Na? I will do server call in app. So, but I want to display that here. You have to pass on here display. And when I select something, I need to lift up to this level, and from there I need to pass on here. So that's a component interaction like parent to child, child to parent. Okay, so this is the architecture diagram. So let me save this also, and then we'll start. So contact app hyphen architecture. Okay, so we have two images, right? And now, so let's start with application. So I don't want this. Okay, let me take a backup for you to practice. So let me take a backup and then we'll create. So all the files, let me copy. Go to where? Go to D drive, workspace, React Online, fundamentals. Let's create a fresh folder, 11 hyphen React life cycle, and one more is done. HTTP with Axios. Okay, and paste. Okay, we have taken a backup. Now we are making contact app. Okay, so same application I use. Okay, I don't want this components folder. Let me delete them. And app.js, I don't need the imports, and I don't need this too. And example will be React contact app. Okay, done. Okay, so that's it. And also get the images. So make sure you have them. Copy. Let me keep them in the notes. Paste. So you can refer the application properly using this diagram. Okay, fine. So we need three components total: contact app, contact list, contact card. So three components. Let me create the components and then we'll start with the application. So let's create right click, new directory, components. Okay, in this I want one JavaScript. So contact app. So import React from React, and the class contact app extends React dot component contab rent app. Okay, h1 contact app. Okay, and let's say export default contact app. Then same like this, I want contact list and card. Copy this, paste it. Contact list. This will be the list list list. Okay, so paste again. So contact card. So this is card, this is card, and also this is contact card. Done. Okay. Um, yeah, we have three. Now let's add the contact app, because as per the diagram, where is the diagram? As per the diagram, add contact app to the top. So in the root below the navbar, I'll add the contact app. Okay. Now let's check. You will get contact app. Okay, let me design this like this, like this one. Contact list app, some data, and then these two. So let's start with the design. Here I want this to be react dot fragment, and in this I need one container, one row, one column. So p dot h3 contact app, and I want color text primary because it is React.js. So blue color theme, Angular red color theme. So p dot lead, you can choose anything, but I want like that. 30 tab. Okay, so let's check. Yeah, contact tab to the margin top 3. Fine. So we got this. Now what's the plan is, uh, in this side I want list, in this side I want card. So I'll design that row, another row, second row. So two columns. One is column 9 column layout. Okay, for the list, and another 3 column layout, column D3. So 9 column, 3 column. In the 9 column, I want to display the list. So contact list I wanted. The 3 column, I want to display the contact card. Okay, so you can check now. Here list will come, here card will come. Okay, their own components now. Right, done. So now we need to fetch data. So where we hold data is in the contact app. Okay, we'll keep data in the contact app. It means in the contact app only we need to send request to server get data. But where is data and what is the URL? Actually, I have data in my local. I have data here, right? This is my data. But this data, if you have in local, it doesn't make sense fetching from Axios. So I need this in global. Uh, I mean online. So how to push And how to host this JSON to online is, yeah, that is the process. How to keep the data online. This is random data, but I want my data online. How to do is, you need to have a GitHub account. Just go GitHub and just sign up for GitHub. Okay, just go to github.com and you need to sign up. Okay, so I have logged in already. Just go to github.com and sign up. Okay, and then log in. Simple. Just general website how you sign up, same like that. Sign up and log in. After that, go to Google and type the keyword called GitHub Gist. Okay, just type GitHub Gist. So this is, you can store your own files in the GitHub location. So that is GitHub Gist. So discover this, you get this website. First you have to GitHub sign up and log in. After that you type this. So then you go to this URL. Yeah, you get this. And if it is asking for login, you can log in with the same credentials of GitHub because it's a part of GitHub. Okay, that's why I told first sign up and then go here. So gist.github.com. Yes, so this is the place where you host. I have already some more. You can host here. So here you can give a file name. I usually give something called contacts hyphen. I usually give as per date. So 18/08/2020 dot JSON. Okay, that's my file name. It doesn't matter anything you can give. And what is your content? Content is what? My local content. This one copy, Control C copy. And do one thing, I'll give you this local so you can do it by yourself. Okay, I'll give that in notes. Yeah, in notes I given that users.json. You can host it online and check. Okay, anyway, I'm giving this course code also, but if you want to practice, I'll give the local JSON. You host it your own GitHub and give that URL. Okay, and even my URL also works, public URL. Okay, so what you do here, you have to paste the content. Where is the content? Control A, Control C copy and paste your content, and yeah, 1234 lines, and then create public guest. So it will host your JSON online. See, you have JSON here. This is the file name. Okay, so how to access this one is, click on this raw button. Okay, click on this raw button. Yeah, this is your data. See, same like JSON placeholder. I have my own data, mail, Caspian, the guy, and all this. The whole data has come. So this is a URL, huge URL. That's okay. Just copy this URL. Copy the URL and keep somewhere in my notepad. Yeah, this is a URL. Fine. GitHub, my username, something. Okay. So now we have data online. Let's fetch the data. How to fetch data and where you fetch data? In the contact tab using Axios. And we have already installed Axios because I'm using the same project. Okay, if you're using fresh project, you have to install Axios, npm install Axios, but I have it's already Axios. Okay, so then where you write the logic? In the contact tab. Where is the contact tab? Components, contact tab, and in which place you write? Not in the render, not in the constructor, in the component did mount. Component did mount here. So using Axios, you have to import it. So import to Axios from Axios. Okay, so fetch it. So Axios dot get, only get request as of now. I'm only fetching data. So URL I can do like this. Let's data URL is equal to some string. Okay, instead of typing here, I'll write here. Let me get that. Copy this. This is the URL. Okay, so I write the URL here. Data URL dot then dot catch. Simple. So I have done already Axios library in my YouTube channel. So if you can go to wait, if you want to know this, this is regularly used for JavaScript also. If you want to know more about that Axios get to post, to put and delete. Anyway, we'll see that in future. But meanwhile, if you want to learn Axios, you can go to my channel. There you can find something called one second. You can go here. There is a Ajax playlist. In Ajax, I have showed something called, yeah, Ajax. And Ajax has showed how to get data from Axios and all. You can refer this. Here somewhere you'll find Axios. Okay, so back here, ah, so then we'll have one function successful data. Catch also will have one function for successful data. Okay, but I want to store data, right? So what I do is this dot this dot state is equal to one object in that what you have contacts, okay, null, empty, and error message is also null. Okay, so let's attach some data. How? You will receive the response from here. So how to attach this dot set state, because I want to update the state. So what is the parameter you want to update? Contacts with the data is response dot data. Okay, done. And you get the error. That error also I want to add to state. So this dot set state and error message with my error. That's it. Okay, so you have fetched the data. So let's see what is this contains. Is it really having data or not? So what do we do? I don't want. Okay, somewhere here I'll print. So pre-tag slash pre-tag. Let's write something. So JSON dot stringify of what this dot state dot contacts. Okay, so let's check. Are we get data? Yes, we got data. Huge data. We got it here. Okay, perfect. So our data has come. So Mr. Caspian something, it's there here. Okay, so this data I don't want to print in the contact tab. I want to pass on the data to contact list to print. Okay, so how to send data from parent to child using props. Now see the real concept. Let me comment this out. Okay, so this data I want to send. But before you send, you need to cross check is it empty or not. Empty data you don't send. So before you send, I will make a cross check. Like I make a condition here. So this dot state dot contacts, the dot contacts. If contacts is available, then send. So React dot fragments. Otherwise null. Okay. If contacts is having some data, then pass on to the contact list. Okay. So how to pass on is props. So let's say I say contacts is equal to this dot state dot contacts, like this. So this is my property to access in the contact list, and content data is in the state. So how to access this contacts in the contacts list is props dot contacts. So let me go to the contact list. Contact list. I will write react dot fragments. Okay, so can we write something like a pre-tag? We'll see are we receive the data or not. So JSON dot stringify of this dot props dot contacts. Okay, so let's check now. Yes, data received to contact list. So now what you do, you have to loop it and display nice table format. Okay, and I want to make a nice table here. Okay, so we know data, we have got data. So let's write a table with the class called table 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 over table. I want primary. Okay, so blue color theme. So text center and table striped t head. This is with the color bg primary. Text white. Table row th star 6 tab, and first serial number I wanted, and then I want the name, and then I want no, first image I want. Image name, age, email, and then this location. Okay, and then t body. Yeah, So I want to display images come like that. Okay, so I want to display that. I have to loop it. So before loop, I check one more time is that props contain data or not. So this dot props is an object, right? So I want to check if the props is not empty. Generally in JavaScript, how to check the object is empty or not. How to check object is empty or not is object, the global object of JavaScript dot keys this dot props is not is equal to props dot length is not is equal to 0. So using this condition, we will check the object is empty or not, which contains some properties or not. If the properties, the props object is empty, don't display anything. If it having some context property, then display. So just for safe side, I'll making one more check. The props is empty or not. Okay. So already we check here, but I'm just checking one more time here. Okay. And then if this is the case, then display react dot fragment. Otherwise, if no data, then don't display anything, just null. Okay, so here once it is confirmed that contains some data, then loop it. So how to loop it? Again, map how this dot props dot this dot props dot contacts, because why I'm writing contacts is property name is contacts. Okay, contacts dot map. Okay, just like regular what we have done in the last example here. So you get the each contact. There we got each user. Now here we have contact. Yeah, each contact I want to return some JSX that is of type table row, table data. So first of all, I want contact dot. Array ID is not there, man. ID not there means we have done no something called login dot something. I got there. Okay, that's okay. I want login dot UUID. Correct. This is the unique ID. Okay, so login dot UUID. Okay, you get nice UUID, but I don't want this much UUID. I want only last four characters. So I can say dot substring of this dot length minus 4. Okay, last but four characters. Just regular JavaScript. Yeah, done. And I want image. So let's make another table data.
Sir,
Uh,
in object.key, you have written disk.props. You have to write your disk.props.contacts or only.
no, this dot props, because this dot prop dot contacts is nothing. Because if you don't provide anything, this contacts will be nothing. No, this will be null. If you don't provide anything, contact will be null.
Okay,
So first this should not be empty. If not empty, then you can access the contact.
okay, we are checking the props only, not
Yeah,
the contact.
yeah, no. If props is not empty is a sense, only thing I'm providing is contact. So it contains some context property.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So let me write the image src. What is that? Contact dot. I know directly. So picture dot large. We have done this data already. And then what do you want? Any class? No. Width some just 50 pixel and height also just 50 pixel. Okay. Large correct spelling. Yeah, I got image. And what else? Yeah, this guy. Name, age, email, location. Name is simple. Uh, contact dot name dot first. Okay, and then contact dot name dot last. There we get. Yeah, age td. So contact dot dob dot age and some years. You can refer the actual object. So and contact dot email, directly email, and the address. So contact dot location dot city. Enough. I think you get data. Okay, fine. So actually you need to refer the data. I mean, you need to refer data and write it, but because I know already the fields and also I write in. Yeah, I got data. Fine. So this is okay. But the next thing is, whenever I select some row, I want to display the data here. If you take the actual diagram, yeah. When I select some row, I need to get the contact. I need to push to the top level and I need to push to the parent. From there, I need to provide to this guy and this guy will display. Okay, because these two not in connection. So how to select and send to the parent? So first let me select and then send to parent. This is interesting. Yeah, table row. When I click on each row, I want data, right? So what you do, table row on click. When you click on each row, I want to call one function. Okay, so this dot some click contact. Okay, one function. But this function, I want to provide something. So you want to provide some property in React.js. You don't add like this. You never add like this. Okay, so this will execute as soon as the page loads. So to provide some data, we have already discussed this concept starting. I show you in the React fundamentals. I think somewhere in data binding, props and state. Yeah, somewhere here we discuss how to send data to the one function with the parameter. I think somewhere in the wish message or wish card somewhere. See, not this one. No, something somewhere in events binding. Yeah, correct. Events binding components, greeting message or somewhere. Product item. No, I think here. Yeah, see, update message. You provide some value. That value has provided here. So how a function can receive a data is, see how you provide it. Function name dot bind this keyword and the value what you want to provide to the function. So we have discussed this concept already. So let me do the same way. So I can't do like this. Dot bind in this keyword and also the data. So what is data you want to send to this function is my contact. Okay. So whatever the contact you display, the same contact send to this function. So let me create the function. Copy. Uh, so go back here, somewhere here. Click contact is a function. So here you will be receiving the contact. Okay. So I got a contact and this contact, let me write something called alert. That's for time being. Just say JSON dot stringify of contact. Let's see what is that contact is specifically getting or not. If you can get, you can send to the next level. Okay, let's see. So when I think it's refresh. Yeah. So when I click on this Caspian link, yeah, I got the Caspian data. And the, if I click on Una data has come. Okay, perfect. And I click on call something. Yeah, call data has come. Okay. So when I click on each row, that data is received in my function. Okay. But that data not in the alert, I want to push to the contact tab, the parent. So how to send to parent? So in parent, there should be one function to receive my contact. Okay. So what I do, go to parents. Here, I will create one variable, something called selected contact, which will be null as of now. Okay, let's create a function to receive the data. Okay, so that function I'll call from my child. So how to receive the data? So let's say something called pull pull contact, some function name. Okay, pull contact, one function. Okay, so here you will receive the contact objects, and that contact I'll assign to here. So how to assign this dot set status, and I provide an object in this. My selected contact will be the contact, will be the contact. With some people ask some question. One second. What is the chart? Like Angular, whether React JS observables asynchronous call fetch data. No, not there, not there. Angular is different. No observable concept here because that is TypeScript concept. That is object oriented. This is function oriented. but not fully object oriented. No, yeah. So set state, I can access and set it. Okay. So this is the function. We should make it available to the child to call. So how to make the function available? Anything you want to available to child, you need to provide the property. So where is my child? Here, not my child. Contact list. Okay. So here, let's say some function name of child. Let's say send the contact. Okay, is equal to this dot pull contact, but not pull and send doesn't make sense. No, not send contact, push contact. Okay, so child you will push it, uh, parent will pull it. Okay, okay, so this push contact is available to the contact list through properties. You can call this one. Okay, so in this what I do instead of doing this story, so this dot props dot was a function name push contact. So push contact of you need to provide the contact. So anyway, this function execute for every click, and that I'm pushing to the push contact, and that push is equal to pull, and that pull is equal to this function get the contact, receive, add to the state of the parent. Now let's see the parent is received or not. Let me display that data somewhere in this here pre-tag. Already pre-tag is there. So let me delete, add a selected contact. Okay. So let's see are we receive or not. If I receive, I can send to other child. Let's see. It is null because we have defined as null. Okay. Then what? When I click on Caspian, see, I got a Caspian. I click on Una. I click on Dario something. Okay. So we can receive data at the parent because this is coming from parent. Yes, it is there. Now what? This data you need to push to, I mean, you need to send to this guy. Okay, through props. Okay, where is that guy? I just come here. Yeah, this guy you have to send. How to send? So selected contact is the property of the child is equal to this dot state dot selected contact you have provided. Okay, so I will comment this not required. We have already seen that. So I have provided that data to the child. So now child will receive with this property. Now go to copy this, go to child will receive. So will receive means we will display pre-tag in this JSON dot stringify of this dot props dot selected contact. Okay, done. Now check. Yeah, it is null because by default if we don't provide it, it is null. Okay, if I select, yes, I got it. Okay, if I select, yeah, it's working. Something is changing means working. Yeah, fine. So we can send. Now we need to display this like a nice card. That very simple. Okay, let's convert this like card. So React dot fragment. Here what you do? One card header with nice PG primary theme, primary text white, and with some padding. I'll write. Give a class called some P4 padding. You get some card with the top padding. Yep, and below one card body. Card body. Okay, in the card body I want to display with nice image. First let me, let's say text center. Okay, so let's write image. Before image I want to make sure that data is not empty because otherwise it is null, no, first of all. So how to make sure is you can make a condition. So this dot props, no, not this one. To check for empty object is object dot keys this dot props dot selected, spelling make sure correct, selected contact, selected, no, just props I'll check. Okay, props is Props is empty means you'll get null. So okay, dot length is not is equal to 0. Okay, question mark. Let's add some react dot fragment. Otherwise, just nothing to display null. Okay, so now here, um, I know that is now having data. So display. How to display? Let's write image src. I want this dot props dot, oh, long story, selected contact dot picture dot large and some class name, I don't know, image fluid, image thumbnail, and let's add some nice rounded circle and width some 50. Okay, can we check now? As of now, nothing will, cannot read property picture of null. Oi, why? Uh, Maybe the selected contact is null. Okay, so do one thing, don't do this much. First of all, here only I'll check somewhere. Okay, I made a mistake. I can do one thing, I can display, I can check here only. So this dot, no, I have to check the props, man. Okay, object dot keys, this dot props dot, no, just a props dot length is not is equal to 0. Okay, so question mark, then react dot fragments. No, react dot fragment, otherwise null. Okay, in this you have to write the card and card body. So card header and then card body. Okay, card header bg primary. Okay, let's some p4. Now check. Okay, done. So props length is not 0, then display. How come? Can you do one thing? Props dot selected contact. So selected contact object, it is null. Actually, I didn't want to display anything there. Cannot convert undefined or null to object. Okay, it is null. You can't convert to object and check. That's the problem. Then what we do? Object dot case of props dot length not 0. Actually, I don't supposed to display any card here. What you do? Can I say it is null or not? How to check the null? Simply you can say this dot props dot selected contact. Okay, if it is there, is it there? Not there. It is empty. Yes, perfect. Now you will write it. Okay, if it is there, then write it. Image src is a long story. So selected contact, not selected contact. Copy this one dot picture dot large and the class. I forgot the class. Yeah, image fluid, image thumbnail, rounded center circle, and width some 50. I hope it works now. Check. No data because nothing selected. If I select, then display. Okay, like this. But I want to keep it center and something margin top. Keep it center. So text center. But I have to keep some margin top. So I write nice design. So here you write some space here. Div with the class called p4. Okay, some nice space will come out there in the card header. So let's keep this exactly here. So let's give some negative margin top for this image. So can we give my own class something called contact image? Okay, so copy this. Let me write some styles somewhere in the app.css. Yeah, hardly contact image margin top. Oh, who write this? I don't know. Yeah, it's there. Okay, margin top. Now check. Yeah, it's came. Perfect. Let me give it less 70. So first time nothing will display. Uh, yeah. Spinners and all, I tell you in the next class how to load the nice spinners. Okay. As of now, just direct data. Yeah, fine. And I want to display the data also below. That's very simple. Go to contact card. So yeah, just 5 minutes. Yeah, I want to write a UL list item, and I want to give this class called class what list group and some text left side, and here with a class called list group item and list group item primary, some nice blue color. Name I want, already name is there, but one more time, name, uh, name is there, name, age, email, address, anything else you want you can write, age, email, address. Okay, fine. And so display data, how? Long story. This is the data dot name dot first. Next another one, data dot name dot last, and age dot dob dot age and some years, and email, this one, dot email, and finally address. I just make only the city, dot location dot city. Okay, fine, that's it. And you want to display some more information which is not exist in the table you display here, because already some same data if you display doesn't make sense. So but I made the same data. You can display some other data like state, city, and all, phone number and all you display. Okay, so fine. I think you can give some margin top here. Okay, now check. This is a contact tab, and when I click on a particular this guy, I got that data, this data, like that. So like this guy, this guy, data. Okay, like this. So see, you never see a page refresh. You got data, that's fine. But what is the concept we have is components interaction. These two interaction with the parent to child, child to parent, and also we discussed the how to fetch data and how to display and data binding. Everything we have seen. Okay, and it's a real data. Fine. So this is the contact app, and one more example is there before we start with routing. That is GitHub user search. Actually, I told yesterday we'll talk GitHub user search, but I in between I got actually this is not in our content. Okay, this application not in our content, but somehow I have discussed this example for Angular batch. So I thought of discussing the same example for React also. So the people who are attending the Angular and React, so they can easily understand the concept. So how you do the same thing in React and Angular. So that's why I made only color change. Here blue color, there red color, and this is React, that is Angular. Okay, I think I show here. This is we made in Angular contact app. This is React contact app. Same story. But how to fetch data from server here different, here different. Okay, how to pass on data from one component to here is different, and they're also different. Okay, so fine. So that's the benefit if you attend my class of React and Angular. Okay, so you can do the same type of example, so you'll have more knowledge and more elaborate on each concept. Okay, that's the plan. Done. Okay, so tomorrow we have a nice example than this one. Again, the component interaction will come. That is GitHub search. Okay, I think I have showed that example yesterday, that photo. So we'll do that example tomorrow. Okay, again using HTTP, but not just static data. We'll get some dynamic data. So when I go to my GitHub, see, so when you enter this GitHub username, I got this profile. Okay, so different username, different profile picture, and different data will come. So let's see how to get this real data instead of this static data. Dynamic data will get. Okay, so that we'll see in tomorrow, and how to send some secret key to the server. Okay, I tell you that how to call external API. Okay, so and any question? How to apply sticky property in header section in table because we can see last customer details. Sticky, yeah. Sticky. You want to stick there? This guy. Okay, okay. This guy you want to stick to top. You can give sticky top class name. I think somewhere this card no. You can give sticky top. Okay, if you write sticky top, it will stick to top. Yeah, it is like this. See this guy, you can see. Wow, nice. Who asked? Okay, nice man. Thank you. Okay, just extra class you need to add sticky top. Okay, so you can see now whichever you select, and last guy also you want to see. Yes, wow, nice. Okay, done. So we made this, and tomorrow we'll see the GitHub user search. Okay, so that's it. Enough for today's class. Any question? No? Okay, fine. So please practice this, and we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.